Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Here at Ottoex, we feature some of the coolest and weirdest vehicles from around the world. This one is no exception. In front of me, we have a super pristine 1997 Toyota Hiace van. This is a special and rare configuration of the Hiace van. It's a little bit longer and a little bit taller, all from the factory, from Toyota, known as the KZH126 chassis code, meaning it's the longest and tallest you could get from Toyota out of the factory. It's about a 5'4" interior standing height. This one is a full-time four-wheel drive van powered by the 1KZTE engine. So that's the 3-liter turbo diesel engine. It's mechanically injected. It's a lot more powerful and more modern than the 3L, which is the 2.8 liter that they put in these alternatively. It lived a one life there with its one owner, commercially owned. Not too many miles were put on it. It was more of just a people hauler around that resort. It is really clean. These are very hard to find in this configuration. Many Hiaces, most Hiaces came in the shorter wheelbases with a lower roof. This one is super nice. So in the video, we're going to look at the outside, the inside, and we're going to take it for a drive. This is finished in its original paint, which is a moon glow. The same paint that you might find on a Land Cruiser 80 series. A very nice paint. It's multicolored. It looks gray. It looks almost orange-ish in certain lighting. It's got the full-time four-wheel drive badges down the side. This is a full-time four-wheel drive, proper 50/50 with a viscous coupling, so mechanical link between the front and rear axles. Kind of like the all-track system, almost identical to the all-track system that we saw in the Toyota Previas here in North America. So this is the Grand Cabin G as its badge trim level. It is a 10-seater. One of those seats is not belted. It's essentially a fold-up, flip-up jump seat, but you can seat 10, you can seat 9 with seat belts, which is really cool, making it super useful. A really cool and great alternative to a Sprinter van, because you have the high roof, you have a lot of space inside. You'll see once we start crawling around in there how much space there really is. But the van presents really well. We've had full maintenance was performed on this van in Japan at the Toyota dealership there in Kobe. So timing belt, water pump, some radiator hoses, thermostat, coolant flush. And we've got the paperwork for that. So it is essentially ready to go. The main concern of these engines is really to keep a fresh timing belt on them every 100,000 kilometers. This has 153,000 kilometers, which is about 95,000 miles. So we made sure to have that done. We didn't have any record of the last one. Let's take a look in the passenger side front. Up front, you've got 2 captain's seats with this antelope style interior trim. The cloth is really nice on these seats. You can see it's in great shape. Everything is clean from the carpets to the floor mats. These are the original Hiace badged floor mats. Door card, pretty simple. Armrest, pull handle, and your power window. This van does have power locks, power windows, AC, heat in front and rear, and also front passenger and driver airbags, which is huge because these vans really didn't get them in a lot of configurations. None of them had them until '94. And then even these long, tall variants, depending on if they were commercial spec or passenger spec, may or may not have had airbags from the factory. It's nice to see them in this. That's something you want in a modern vehicle. If safety is a concern, you've got those bases covered, which is nice to have on these Hiace vans. Let's take another peek in the driver's side. Your standard trim of Toyota controls here, power locks, window lock, door locks, windows, all that stuff. The foam in this seat is a little sagged on this bolster. We have sourced brand new foam from Toyota, which will be included with the purchase of this van. This van is for sale at our dealership here in Portland, Oregon. Headliner, super clean, really not a scuff on it. That's your AC button there for the rear AC. And all the way back, your 10 seats. So let's hop in and I can show you some more stuff on the inside. 4-spoke polyurethane steering wheel, horn, 5-speed, floor shift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reverse. We've got a little storage cubby here and another one here, which is essentially an ashtray, but this van doesn't appear to have ever been smoked in, which is nice. A lot of these vehicles from Japan in the 90s had smoke. Not a big deal, but just something to be aware of. Center console, storage, rear heat button, also controlled back there by the passengers. Tape deck, AM, FM, Toyota original radio. You've got your switches for your 2 lights, high and low, in the rear, which both work. And you've got rear power curtains, which work nicely on that rear gate, lift gate. Rear defrost, all the controls, AC, heat, all that works well. Your cluster, and that kind of sums up the basics of these controls. Some cup holders here, and plenty of cup holders in the back. Glove box, of course, airbag here and there. Let's take a look in the back and see what's going on. Why don't we start by popping the trunk first. Really big trunk. This thing can essentially double as an awning if you're in the rain and you have, say you convert this to a camper, you've got some sort of pull-out kitchen. You can stand under here in the shade or the dry. So, I want to point out this trim piece still has the original Toyota plastic from the factory covering it. So you've got a nice tall trunk compartment. These seats all bolt out with ease. It's really just a matter of bolts to remove any amount of rows in this van or all. You've got a little luggage rack up here or bag overhead storage, which also can bolt out if you don't want to use this as a people hauler. So factory curtains all throughout, as well as 50/50 slider windows on all 4 windows, which is really nice. You can slide these open like that on all the windows in the back. Great potential for a camper or a family hauler, work van. This thing has so much space in it. It is pretty sweet, given the footprint that it takes up. Ultimate utility out of these vans. The paint is clean. There are a few door dings I'll point out here, here, and here. We haven't bothered trying to get these fixed, but I'm sure a PDR guy could hit them out. One there too. Otherwise, rust-free, dent-free, no accident history, no paint failure. Paint presents really nice all around. actually. Sorry if I'm moving the camera too fast. Just trying to get it all for you guys. So let's slide open this door. The door slides really nice and smooth. They installed an additional grab handle here, which is really sturdy, nice for stepping in. And you've also got this here. So looking inside, we've got two middle rows of 2 seats, back row with 3, and this really cool jump seat, which goes down and up. You want to throw someone extra in there in a pinch. Floor mats are in great shape. Definitely some scuffing here. There's no mistaking that this was used to haul people by a resort, commercially owned, maintained, one owner. So while it was used, it was not thrashed or beat on. It hauled people, but otherwise it had a relatively forgiving life. There's some rare wear on this armrest. However, if you look here, a little rip there. Otherwise, the fabric and the seats in the back are in really good shape. So if you sit, plenty of room, quite comfortable. Everyone has their own little ashtray and fold up, fold down cup holder, as well as a seat back pocket. And even if we go into the third row here, same thing. Really cool. Seats are all comfortable. Shoulder belts across the board. These middle guys do not have shoulder belts, as far as I can tell. The ones along the side do. And so does this one here. Headliner's in great shape. We've got some additional speakers back here and here and there. Grab handles as well, and curtains all throughout. Everything is original and intact, which is really hard to find in one of these more commercially used vehicles. You know, a typical owner of this size of a vehicle in Japan would most likely be a company. It would have been used, and a lot of them got used hard because they're great vans. They last a long time, and these companies, they want to get their money's worth out of the vehicle they bought. This one had a comparatively easier life than many commercial vehicles in Japan. So it's always rare and cool to see one of these commercial spec vehicles in not completely used up condition. So I get excited, so you'll have to forgive me for my excitement, but we see a lot of vehicles from Japan, and I'm excited by the special ones. So that said, I don't know if I pointed out, probably not. Forgot to point these things out. We've got rear heat controls here and rear AC controls up there. So why don't we start it up, take it for a ride. It has a child protector here too, which is cool. I didn't even know it had that until now. Original company branding down the side. If anyone speaks and can translate that for us, please do. Otherwise, we'll have a translation after this video. It says something along the lines of waterfall rock area. However, the kanji might have other meanings. Really cool KZH 126. A lot of people here, the few that have come in, they use them for really versatile rigs, family haulers. A fellow's converted it into a full camper, which is their great platform for that too. And yeah, really love these vans. Okay, so why don't we start it up? The van doesn't have any current issues except for, at the moment, at the time of this filming, the tachometer doesn't work. We plan to have that replaced when we are able to get it in. So that is on our to-do list. That said, the van is still available for sale. We just like to disclose all that stuff. We're facing the sun. So, very easy to drive. These things are really fun and easy, especially with the 1KZ. They've got, you know, all the power you could want. The 5-speed makes it even more fun. It also keeps the engine temperatures down. One important thing about ownership of a Hiace is to make sure your cooling system is maintained, and that part of that comes with doing the timing belt, water pump, and radiator fluid and all of that. But in a 5-speed, it's a significantly less hot system because you don't have that automatic transmission running up your temperatures. You don't have all that ATF heating up, having to be run through the radiator to be cooled down. So these vans do better in a 5-speed. We prefer them in 5 speeds. And also just less power robbing going on. So the van drives really nice. Power delivery is smooth. Much smoother than the road I'm driving on. Tracks nice and straight down the road, rows through all the gears as it should. These keep up really nicely with North American highway speeds, and the 1KZ and the 5-speed, you can cruise comfortably 70 to 80, no problems, and that's important. We like to disclose that because some folks are expecting to be able to go 80, 90, and not all JDMs can do that, but this one doesn't have problems. So if you are more of a speed demon and you like to drive fast, this van's a better fit than some other options with other drivetrains. Driving a Hiace with this longer and taller wheelbase honestly doesn't feel any different than the shorter wheelbase versions or the lower ones. It doesn't really feel any heavier or more unwieldy. It feels the same. In case some of you guys might be wondering about that. It's just more space for activities. So we're getting to the end of our video here. I want to thank you guys if you've gotten this far and watched along. Thank you for watching. Really do appreciate it. We love making these videos and featuring these vehicles. Whether we're selling them or just telling you a story about them, we enjoy it, and we appreciate all you guys who watch. If you enjoy and you want to see more of what we have either for sale or just what we're presenting on our channel, feel free to subscribe. Give us a like or hit that bell so we can get you some more content. As always, we enjoy making it and we appreciate you guys watching. So stay tuned for the next one, and we'll see you then.